it was always a balance between the economic and the health debate. NTV's Kennedy Mureithi reports on the tough choice and on the typical habits of Kenyans who soon after the relaxation measures were announced were already preparing to travel up-country, raising fears that the virus could spread in the counties. Take a look.
Fellow Kenyans,
from his opening remarks, one would tell President Uhuru Kenyatta was battling hard choices as it is understood. The decision to reopen the country had not been unanimous. To the president, it was still a tough balance between saving lives and livelihoods, and none of these choices is a fair trade-off. But just as the country has been ravaged by the coronavirus, the economy has taken a battering with thousands of job cuts. The National Security Council thus had to find a compromise.
the order to reopen is given conditionally. Should the situation deteriorate and pose a challenge to our health infrastructure, we will have to revert back to lockdown. In the next 21 days, we shall study patterns of interactions and the spread of the disease.
The president noted the choice to reopen had its proponents and opponents, with the counties now having to take up the responsibility for managing and treating infected people moving through their territories.
We have not yet met 100%, but we have met a reasonable level of preparedness across our counties.
And in almost predictable fashion, thousands had already booked up to travel up country. A spot check in some of the city's public transport termini showed a surge in the number of people seeking to leave the capital. However, public transport operators will have to conform to Ministry of Health guidelines and obtain clearance certificates before they can begin operations.
By reopening Nairobi, Mombasa, and Mandera, we must be cognizant of the fact that we are all much more at risk than we were when the restrictions were in place.
An hour after his speech, buses plying the Garissa route based in Isili had received numerous calls for bookings, just like many other bus companies.
Sasa tumekupatia nafasi. Waweza utoke Nairobi, uende Nyeri, uende Kakamega, uende Machakos, uende pahali popote. Lakini ujue jukumu ni lako.
I don't know when we'll be able to resume operations, mainly because of other conditions that we need to fulfill, called the certification of the PSV driver.
The president has actually summed up his speech with one clarion call to Kenyans that it all depends with them with how this disease is going to be tackled moving forward, noting that the numbers have been rising by the day. Kennedy Mureithi, NTV in Nairobi County.